HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the heart of their communities. Merchants Bank, let's dream together.
Making the play. He gets the pin. Raiders are clawing their way back in this game.
Just snipes one.
It's over. Save. Oh my God! Did you see that? Great diving play. Is it a touchdown? Hastings Raiders win the ball game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hastings Middle School Pool as we get set for the home opener for the Hastings Raiders against Metro East Conference rival Two Rivers Warriors. My name is Centra Pinky. I'm the sports director here at HCTV. On the call for you this evening. Going to be a pretty good one. The Hastings Two Rivers rivalry has gotten really big over recent years across the Metro East, across a wide variety of sports. So tonight, if you've never tuned into swimming before, we broadcast both JV and varsity, and if they have full squads, we'll do double ups of every single event tonight. And we're going to start tonight here with the JV 200-yard medley relay, followed by the varsity right after that. Two Rivers will be in lanes 2, 4, and 6, and the Raiders will be in 1, 3, and 5. So here we go with our first JV heat. In lane 2 for Two Rivers V, Men's Huber, the 10th grader, Sophia Carney, Camille Lamb, followed by Kidzali Cardozo. In lane 3 for Hastings, Ellie Cook, the 9th grader, Amelia Kraus, the 7th grader, Fiona Olson, the 12th grader, and Caden Butler, the 11th grader. Lane 4. Elliot Menk, the 11th grader, followed by Isabella Skidmore, the 10th grader, Noel Mohammed, the 9th grader, and coming in 4th, Elise Schaefer, the 7th grader. So as you know, for the medley relay, they're doing 200 yards total, and the pool is 25 meters, so they go down for 25 and back for 25 for 50, so each swimmer does 50, and it looks like Two Rivers has a lead down in lane number 3. And for the order for you all, the lanes go top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in that order. So top of your screen will be lane 1. As you can see, that is the second swimmer for Two Rivers, Amelia Kraus, the 7th grader. Good to see some middle schoolers getting action. Next swimmer getting ready to dive in is Fiona Olson for Two Rivers. Hastings diver getting ready. That'll be... No, excuse me. I misread the wrong roster. I apologize. In lane 3, it is Noel Mohammed. For Hastings, in lane 3, it is Fiona Olson. In lane 2 for Two Rivers, it's Sophia Carney. Apologize, folks. This is first swim meet in a while on commentary. We're getting our bearings here. Mohammed out to a commanding lead. So Elise Schaefer will be ready to dive in for Two Rivers. In lane 3 for Hastings, Caden Butler getting ready to go. Quetzali Cardozo will be diving in lane number 2 for Two Rivers. And Two Rivers out into a commanding lead in this first JV heat. Home opener for the Raiders tonight. You see pretty good crowd in attendance. We'll get a shot of that a little later this evening as Two Rivers is going to take this JV heat. And both lane number 4 claiming the victory, followed by Two Rivers in lane 2. Hastings will finish in 3rd. And you'll see a variety of numbers when it comes to the JV level. It really depends on the numbers on the swim program, how many people can field. Sometimes one team will just throw out a whole JV heat. Could be all Hastings, could be all Two Rivers. Depends how the team is composed. As we get set for our first varsity heat of the 200 medley relay, let's start going through your starters. In lane 1 for Hastings, Emma Leonard, followed by Chloe Arness, Mari Hall, and Kyra Fuchtman, the 8th grader. Two Rivers leading off will be Maria Nelson. In lane 3 for Hastings, Emma Demlow. In lane 4 for Two Rivers, starting us off is Eden Hill, followed by Hastings in lane 5, Liliana Burks. And then Two Rivers rounding us off on the starting block, Anna Henriksen. And just saying, and the lane numbers may change a little bit for the JV heat, but it won't change for varsity. You clearly saw there, not all the lanes were being used, but this one's a clear 1, 2, 6. Don't forget to let us know where you're watching from. We also want to welcome in the Town Square Television viewers as well. Feel free to leave us a comment if you're tuning in somewhere. We're happy to be here for the home opener. And the first varsity heat is underway of the night. Hastings scooting out to an early lead with a great jump off the starting block. That is Emma Demlow, the 9th grader. Two Rivers keeping it close, though. In lane number 4 with Eden Hill, as the second set of racers are set to dive into the water. Neck and neck from Hastings and Two Rivers in 3 and 4. Another great dive initially, as they now switch strokes. Every time they have a new racer, they switch strokes. And Hastings has really taken the jump. In lane 3 now, this is Kira Arness. And in lane 4 is Willa Vogan. Hastings also claiming the 3 spot right now in lane 5. In lane 5, that is Maddie Ritter giving way to Eliana Herrera Carlson. Two Rivers closing the gap a little bit here. Josie Larson is now in lane 3 for Hastings. The divers can't go, they try to time it perfectly, so as soon as that hand hits the wall, they can go. But if they go a second earlier, that can disqualify you in the event. Hastings looks like they're going to claim first place, as Lila Salzman claimed a huge lead for the Raiders. Now in for Two Rivers in lane 4, Anna Crane. So Hastings will claim the victory in lane 3, followed by Two Rivers in second place. And Hastings will also claim third, as Greta Larson in lane 5 will hit the wall. Two Rivers in lane 2 coming in for Izzy Steiner, the 10th grader. And wrapping up this event will be Hastings in lane 1 with Kyra Futman. And rounding us out will be Ari Ernst for Two Rivers. So a great way to open the event. Hastings started pretty narrow, but they had some great dives off the starting board that kind of gave them that separation early and are able to claim the victory here in our first heat of the night. Coaches for Hastings, head coach is Katie McAlpin. Head coach for the Two Rivers Warriors is Spencer Heino. I apologize if I butchered that. Please let me know if I butchered that in the comments. We'll try to get shots of them at some point in the night. Next, we'll move on to the 200-yard freestyle for JV. No relay this time, as it'll all be one swimmer per lane. This is a near full heat. No one in lane 1, but 2 through 6 all have racers. In lane 2, Ada Richards for Two Rivers, Emery Malm, the 8th grader in 3, Elliot Menk in 4 for Two Rivers, In lane 5, Alana Latch, the 8th grader for Hastings, and Quetzali Cardozo, the 9th grader, in lane 6. You can see the pace of swimming. I almost said pace of play because I'm used to other sports. It slowed down a lot more because while it's still the individual medley, you're changing strokes. You got to conserve that energy, a much longer race than the one prior. And we'll see that too when we get to the 500 free later in the evening. Lanes 2 and 3 keeping it neck and neck, even lane 5 keeping it close. And every single swimmer will have their preferred stroke, so that's kind of how we can see lead changes. Because when swimmers hit their favorite stroke, that's going to be the difference maker. As lane 3, Malm is making the turn and starting the freestyle. And now you can kind of see the gap widening between 3 and 2. Lane 2 again, Ada Richards. Lanes 5 and 6 are getting pretty close there, though, so anyone can take this. 3rd place. Neck and neck for the 3rd place spot as Hastings, barring a miracle, seemingly has locked up this victory in the JV heat. Lane 5 kind of squirting ahead down at the bottom of your screen. Gap widening that they're at the bottom in the 3rd place race. Hastings still has a commanding lead for 1st place. Two Rivers hopefully trying to turn that around here. Like Emery Malm will take first. It's going to be close between 2 and 5 actually for this JV heat. And it's going to be lane 2 followed by lane 6, then lane 5. And rounding us out will be lane 4. So Emery Malm claims the victory, followed by Ada Richards of Two Rivers in 2nd and 3rd. 3rd place in lane 5, Elena Latch. 4th place, lane 4, Elliot Mink. Barring any time discrepancies, and I don't see any. Looks like one of the timers didn't work. However, a good JV heat as we move to varsity action. A reminder too, we'll have a short break coming up between diving. About a 5 to 10 minute break in between there.
All right, you guys can go and get reset for game.
All right. As we move to the 200-yard freestyle for the varsity heat. And we are underway. Lane order in lane 1, Lauren Bidault, the Hastings 10th grader, followed by Chessa Berg from Two Rivers, Sophia Kovalenko in lane 3 of Hastings, Willa Volgan of Two Rivers in lane 4, Izzy Green in lane 5, Sadie Albrecht in lane 6 for Two Rivers. Hastings off to an early lead in their respective lanes of 3 and 5. Kovalenko and Green, respectively. It's hard to come by some swimming stats, but for varsity, for what I could track down online, Hastings is ranked 38th in the state, and Two Rivers kind of on that bubble of 50 plus. I think it was the Swim Cloud I found it. There isn't a traditional swimming hub or Minnesota Scores Net page for swimming, unfortunately, like we have with other sports. As Kovalenko has a commanding lead in favor of the Raiders, followed by Green in 5th place. Two Rivers following up in the 3rd and 4th places. In lane number 2, that's Chessa Berg. It's going to be tight between Chessa Berg and Willa Vogan. as Hastings reaching their final lap as Kovalenko is swimming at Mach 10. Takes the turn and heading back to complete. Timers are getting ready as it looks like Hastings will claim the first and second places here as Kovalenko finishes with a time of 31, or a lap time of 31.93. A 2 minute and 4 seconds, 0.92 milliseconds for the heat, and as Two Rivers will claim the third and fourth places respectfully. Third, fourth, fifth, and Hastings will have their final swimmer finish sixth in lane 1. Coming up next, we have another JV heat, the 200 individual. Excuse me one moment. We were having technical difficulties earlier in-house with the roster and race lineups. They didn't get me a sheet until about 2 minutes before the event started, so I'm not quite. So still kind of double checking everything. Okay, excuse me, I was waiting on the correction from in-house. This is the girls' 100-yard individual medley relay. Going through your lineup order, Caden Butler in lane 1 for Hastings. Lane 2, Amelia Warnecki, followed by Fiona Olsen of Hastings, Anna Henriksen of Two Rivers in lane 4. Lane 5, Amelia Kraus of Hastings, and rounding us out, Sophia Carney of Two Rivers. Apologize on the correction there. We're all kind of working fast to get everything squared away here, as the swimmers switch strokes. Lane 2 and lane 4 in first place. In lane 2 again we have Amelia Warnecki, and in lane 4 Anna Henriksen. Warnecki a senior and Henriksen a 10th grader. Swimmers loudly cheering on their team from the opposite end of the pool. Production crew today, Hunter Pinky, the producer and announcer for you today. Ian Andrusak doing the directing and graphics work for us, and on camera, Max Slocum and Will Saline. As Two Rivers claims the first and second place in lane 4 and 2, respectively. Hastings will claim, Two Rivers will claim the top 3 spots, as Hastings will claim the remaining bottom 3. Now we move to the varsity individual 100-yard IM. Good shot of our swimmers getting ready. Let's run through your lineup here for this varsity heat. Mary Schulk, Allie Karen, Maddie Ritter, Leah Gabori, Chloe Arness, and Izzy Steiner. And just a reminder, Hastings is in lanes 1, 3, and 5. Two Rivers in 2, 4, 6. In case I mispronounce any name, please let us know in the comments. And Hastings has 4 seniors on their roster: Kira Arness, Izzy Green, Stella Hilgers, and Josie Larson. Hastings graduated a few successful athletes last year, so looking to change their composition a little bit. A couple notable graduates. One including one of the Jenkins sisters, Lauren Jenkins, one of the top swimmers, and losing Ashton Stewart as well, a good diver and swimmer, as we get this varsity heat underway. Just a reminder, Shulk in lane 1, Karen in lane 2, Ritter lane 3, Gabori lane 4, Arness in lane 5, and Steiner in lane 6. Thanks for everybody who's joining us here on Town Square Television, HCTV, channel 799, or YouTube. We appreciate it. Hastings off to an early lead in lanes 3 and 5. Now, as they make the turn and switch strokes, the backstroke. Ritter in a tight lead with Arness in lane 5, but Two Rivers slowly creeping up there in lane number 4. This is kind of where I mentioned it. Unfortunately, it's in the wrong event. I was looking in the wrong spot, but this is where you see a swimmer's most effective stroke. Getting to your favorite stroke can make a whole difference in the match as they turn and switch once again. They make it to the breaststroke. Ritter and Arness narrowing the gap. Neck and neck as Two Rivers is sneaking up there in lane number 4 with Gabori. Who's gonna get it? And it's, as we hit our final stroke, let's see if they can narrow the gap in lane number 3. As we hit our final lap. Looks like Arness is taking it in lane 5. And now lane number 4 is catching up and overpassing Ritter in lane 3. Who's going to get there? And it looks like it's going to be Arness in first place, followed by Two Rivers in second. Again, that is Gabori followed by Ritter. So Arness, Gabori, and Ritter. Talk about incredible effort from Gabori. She was trailing most of that event, and then she got to her strong stroke in the freestyle and narrowed the gap and managed to secure a second place finish for Two Rivers. But great effort by all the competitors so far, as there's still one more swimmer in lane number 2 as we wait for the conclusion of that. As this heat is concluded. Well, why don't we take a pause in the action and thank one of our supporters. HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the hearts of our communities. Finances should be about listening, learning, and even a little fun. To start your best banking adventure yet, more information is available at merchantsbank.com. Merchants Bank, let's dream together. Thank you to Merchants Bank for supporting our fall coverage of HCTV Sports. If you want to become a supporter yourself, go to hastingstv.org/sponsors or consider donating to Hastings TV at hastingstv.org/donate. As we get set for our last JV heat before we move to diving. This is the 50-yard freestyle. And the racers are off in lane 1. Herrera Carlson, followed by Schulander, Hilgers, Jacobson, Leonard, and Menshuber. Hastings again in 1, 3, and 5, 2, 4, 6, Two Rivers. Hastings off to a lead, lane number 5. Looks like this might be a Hastings sweep for this JV heat. As it'll be lane 5 followed by lane 3 and 1 to round off the top 3 in favor of the Hastings Raiders. Definitely a quick one, the 50-yard freestyle is. As there's a good shot of our winner there right there. And now we move to the varsity 50-yard freestyle. This one's going to go quick, folks. We have Ellie Cook for Hastings in lane 1, Anna Crane, followed by Kira Arness, Charlotte Bogan, Lila Salzman, and Sadie Albrecht. Raiders in the yellow swim caps, blue suits, Two Rivers in the black caps and red suits. Pretty easy to tell them apart. Sometimes it's hard when you get two similarly colored schools like Hastings Simile. And they're off. And lane number 2, Two Rivers has an early lead. Lane 3 closing the gap. Pilgers in 3 looking to, Arness in 3 looking to pass Crane. It's neck and neck up the middle. Who's going to get this? 2 through 4. It's narrow. What are we going to get? And it looks like Hastings will take it, followed by Two Rivers in lanes 4 and 2. Lane 4. That one was extremely close. And that'll conclude our first section of swimming here from the Hastings Middle School pool. So far, pretty competitive. Hastings and Two Rivers have a pretty stout rivalry, and I'm excited to see how this continues. So we're going to take a short break. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You're listening and watching here to Hastings Raiders swimming against the Two Rivers Warriors. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
He gets the pin. What a move, what a goal! Oh, what a shot, scores! The Raiders, can they get the lift? Yes, they do.
Just snipes one.
Oh my God!
And reaching up and making the play.
It's moving!
It is over! Looking to throw, and she's going to get the first down.
Gone! Touchdown, Raiders!
Push that trash that way, not this way. Come on.
Oh, hey there. Do you like HCTV?
That's one small step for Hastings and one giant leap for community television.
Do you want a custom video that promotes your business or organization and gives you the results you're looking for? As an HCTV sponsor, our staff will work with your business or organization to create a custom video to promote your brand. You also have an option of getting a shout out in every sporting event we cover. And that's 3 points for your business. So support HCTV today! Go to hastingstv.org/sponsors for more information or to give a one-time donation.
Welcome back to the Hastings Middle School pool as we get set for our diving portion of the evening. Hunter Pinky on the call here. Apologize, like I mentioned earlier, we were having some technical difficulties with the lineup software, so they didn't get them printed. I think they were manually scrambling and typing everything up for us. So I want to give a shout out to our lovely assistant named Sam, who was running us up lineups and dive sheets as quickly as he could so we can have them for the rest of the broadcast. Unfortunately for diving, normally we kind of get the list of the dive here, but we only have the dive order. So we won't be able to, we'll try to listen to the PA and give it to you the best I can, but we might be a little bit more vague tonight just because we don't have that on the list. But we do have the order for you. The order will begin with 3 exhibition divers, 2 from Hastings and 1 from Two Rivers. Divers will alternate between schools minus the exhibition divers. So our first exhibitions will be Carly Gintner, followed by Peyton Coombs, and then Cora Bazina. First 2 divers are Hastings Raiders, and it concludes with the Two Rivers Warrior. For the varsity side of things, it'll be Kyra Fechtman, followed by Mari Hall of those 2 of Hastings, followed by Reese Walsh of Two Rivers, Greta Larson of Hastings, Hannah Lawrence, of Two Rivers, Chloe Arness of Hastings, and then concluding us will be Ellie Kessler. Again, take a look at the great crowd here. It's a near-packed house here from the Hastings Middle School pool. Great to see road fans, home fans, all the like as we're getting set for our first dive. This will be scored by 2 MSHSL officials. Our officials are Marty Hoven and Mark Sorensen Wagner, and then they will be assisted by 2 Hastings coaches.
Here's the actual dive.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. And just as I said that, we were given a full dive sheet. So we appreciate the scorers table. They were working so hard to get us that information. They're working hard and scrambling. They're really rolling out the red carpet for us. We can't thank them enough for what they have done for us this evening.
So if the score stops looking correct, like if Hastings has 94 and the other team has, like if we come in first on all of them, after we get 94, we might exhibition, which means we'll stop taking the points. So if the score looks wrong, that's why.
Getting some more information on the scorers table as we get set for the first diver, Carly Gintner. First dive. Scores of 5, 4, and a 4.5. Next will be Peyton Coombs of Hastings doing a 401C. Degree of difficulty 1.4. Inward dive, tuck position. So as we get set for our next exhibition dive. And here she goes. I want to keep the splash as minimal as possible for a higher score. 4.5, 5.5, and a 4.5. Next up is Cora Vazina of Two Rivers. 401C inward dive tuck at 1.4 degree of difficulty.
Yeah, you can start calling out then. Make sure you get the dive a little bit wider so you see him get in the water.
Score of 4, 3.5, 3.5. Getting a great ovation from the crowd on that dive. As we move to Kira Feutman, 401C inward dive from the tuck position, a 1.4 degree of difficulty. That degree of difficulty will affect the scoring. The harder the dive, the more points. Nice dive, getting scores of 5, 5, and 4.5. That'll bring up Mari Hall of Hastings Raiders. 401B, inward dive from the pike position, 1.5 degree of difficulty. I want to say hi to Chad Nelson in the chat as well. Thanks for joining us. I see you in the comment section as we get set for another dive. Great height, great splash down. A 5.5, a 6, and a 5.5. That was a great dive from Mari Hall. Next up is Reese Walsh of Two Rivers. Via 401C, inward dive from the tuck position, a 1.4 degree of difficulty. Scores of 4.5, 4.5, and a 4 for the Two Rivers Warrior Reese Walsh. Next is Greta Larson of the Hastings Raiders. 401B, inward dive from the pike position at a 1.5 degree of difficulty, as you see her on your screen.
Greta, 401B, inward dive pike, 1.5.
Kind of see the degree of difficulty ramp up after this first round of diving. There's 6 rounds in total for the evening. Good height, good positioning. 6, 5.5, and a 5 for Greta Larson. Next will be Hannah Lawrence. 401B, inward dive from the pike position, a 1.5 degree of difficulty. She gets ready for the dive. Four and a half across the board. Getting good reception from the crowd. Next is Chloe Arness of the Hastings Raiders. 401B, inward dive from the pike position, a 1.5 degree of difficulty. Great height and great form, and that's reflected in the score. 6.5, 2 6.5s, and a 6. Talk about a great dive from Arness. Next is Ellie Kessler of the Two Rivers Warriors. 401B, inward dive from the pike position, a 1.5 degree of difficulty. Great height, great form on that one as well, as we get a 6, 6, and a 6.5. That half made it a not-so-evil number right there. A couple of great dives from Arness and Kessler as we move to round 2. Set for 3 exhibition dives in a row with Carly Gintner of Hastings doing a 201A back dive from the straight position, 1.7 degree of difficulty. Here's a good look at Carly on the board as she gets set. Four, 4, and 4.5. Next is Peyton Coombs of the Hastings Raiders. 201A, back dive straight, 1.7 degree of difficulty. Five and a half, 5 and 5. Great form from Peyton Coombs. Next up is Cora Vizina. 201A is the dive number. A back dive in the straight position, 1.7 degree of difficulty. And a few divers tonight wearing a different colored suit, but it's kind of fun to see different color. Three and a half, 3.5. Great crowd reception once again as we move to the varsity portion for Kara Fuchman of the Hastings Raiders, 5.22D, back one, SS one twist free, reading the run, 202, back one from the tuck position, 1.5 degree of difficulty, 4.45, good score. Actually, I apologize, I'm getting ahead of myself on the roster. Next up is Mari Hall. Inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2 degree of difficulty for Mari Hall of the Hastings Raiders. Apologize, got a little bit ahead of my score sheet there. Scores of 5, and 5.5. Great dive from Mari Hall, great reception. Next is Reese Walsh for Two Rivers. 103C, forward, 1.5 somersaults. From the tuck position, a degree of difficulty of 1.6. Four and a half, and a 4. For Walsh. Greta Larson next for Hastings Raiders, 403C. Inward 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, a 2.2 degree of difficulty. Second 2.2 we've seen tonight. See what Larson can do. We got a 6, 5.5, and a 5. Talk about a great dive from Greta. Next up, Hannah Lawrence of Two Rivers. 402C inward, 1 somersault from the tuck position. A 1.6 degree of difficulty. Four and a half, and a 5. For Miss Lawrence. Next is Chloe Arness of the Hastings Raiders. Inward 1.5 somersaults from the pike position, 2.4 degree of difficulty. Great dive from Arness, 5.5, 6, and a 5 for the Hastings Raiders on that dive. Next is Ellie Kessler of Two Rivers, 403C. Inward, 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, a 2.2 degree of difficulty. Scores of 5, 5.5, and a 4. As we move to round 3, we return to our next set of exhibition dives. Carly Gittner of the Raiders, 202C, back 1 somersault from the tuck position, a 1.5 degree of difficulty.
Yes. 202C back.
As the in-house announcer making a correction for the stadium here. And just I'll always read the dive number off, just out of habit. As Gintner gets set on the board. Four and a half and 2 4s for Gintner. Next up, Peyton Coombs. 102C, forward 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.4 degree of difficulty. She readies herself on the board. Scores of 4.5, 5, and 4. Nice dive from Coombs. Next is Cora Vizina. 5-2-1-1-A. A back dive, 1.5 twist from the straight position, a 1.8 degree of difficulty. So the highest degree of difficulty we've seen from these exhibition dives so far. We'll see what Vizina can do here. Two, 3, and 3.5. Got to commend the effort there for the highest degree of difficulty for the exhibition divers. Next will be Kira Fuchman. Apologize if it's Fechtman. Please let me know if I'm mispronouncing that. 5-2-2-D. Back 1 somersault, 1 twist from the free position, 1.9 degree of difficulty. Got scores of 4.5, 5, and 4.5. Next is Mari Hall. 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position in 2.2 degree of difficulty. So that degree of difficulty starting to ramp up here for both squats. Got a 4.5, 4, and a 5. Next is Reese Walsh for the Two Rivers Warriors. 201C, a back dive from the tuck position, 1.5 degree of difficulty. Wasting no time to get up on the diving board. Four and a half, and a 5. Matching our own Mari Hall of the Raiders. Next up is Greta Larson, 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position, 2.2 degree of difficulty. Big of a splash, but got the rotations in, so it's a complete dive. 5, 4.5, and a 5. Hannah Lawrence up next for Two Rivers. 103B, forward 1.5 somersault from the pike position, a 1.7 degree of difficulty. Very clean dive as we get a 5, 5, and 6. So Lawrence showing off her talent as we move to Chloe Arnett. 105C, forward 2.5 somersaults from the tuck position, a 2.4 degree of difficulty. So one of the most difficult dives we've seen of the night. That might be the highest in these first 3 rounds. Five, 3.5, and a 4. Apologize. She got a little bit close to the diving board on that one, so that one scared me a little bit. As this brings up Ellie Kessler of Two Rivers. 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position, a 2.2 degree of difficulty. Five, 4.5, and a 4.5. As we move to round 4, we return to our exhibition divers. So moving to round 4 with Carly Gintner. She'll do a 5-1-2-1-D, forward 1 somersault with a half twist from the free position, 1.7 degree of difficulty. And they're going to say she did not complete the dive, so there will be no score. Ruled a failed dive, unfortunately for Gintner. Next is Peyton Coombs. 103C forward, 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Very smooth dive. That's 4.5, 5, and a 5 from Coombs. Next is Cora Vizina. 202A back, 1 somersault from the straight position. A 1.7 degree of difficulty. Vizina definitely challenging herself tonight. Excuse me, 4, 4, and a 3. Next is Kira Fechtman, 5.223D back, 1 somersault, 1.5 twist free, 2.3 degree of difficulty. You get a 5, 5, and a 5. 5's across the board. Next is Mari Hall. 201C back dive from the tuck position, 1.5 degree of difficulty. A 6, a 7, and a 7. Highest scores of the night. Talk about an efficient dive, as this is Reese Walsh. 302C, reverse 1 somersault from the tuck position, a 1.6 degree of difficulty. They're looking like, nope, not a failed dive. 2.5, 2.5. Next is Greta Larson for the Hastings Raiders. 201A back dive straight, 1.7 degree of difficulty. Seven, 6, and a 6. You can see the Two Rivers coach shaking his head a little bit there. But another respectable score from the Raiders as we head to Hannah Lawrence. 5, 111B, forward dive, 1.5 twist from the pike position, 1.7 degree of difficulty. 4, 3.5, 4.5. Fortunately, the coach almost missed that score. Just didn't get it quite as high as I'd like. Chloe Arnett next. 203B back, 1.5 somersault from the pike position, 2.3 degree of difficulty.
Yes.
203B back, 1.5 somersault from the pike position. They're clarifying it in-house. 2.3 degree of difficulty, excuse me. Just gotta make sure it's correct for the scores. We got a 6, 6, and 6. The Devil's number.
The Warriors, Ellie.
Next is Ellie Kessler from Two Rivers. 203C, back 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, a 2.0 degree of difficulty. Four and a half, 4.5, 4.5. Talk about consistency across the scoreboard.
4.5.
As we now move to round 5 for diving.
Early for the Raiders, 101C, forward dive 2.
This is Carly Gintner once again, 101C. Forward dive from the tuck position, 1.2 degree of difficulty. Four and a half, 4.
For the Raiders region, 5-1-2-1.
Peyton Coombs of the Hastings Raiders, 5-1-2-1-D. Forward 1 somersault, 1 half twist. And from the free position, a 1.7 degree of difficulty. Taking their time. Getting set. Three and a half, and 3.5.
Warriors
Cora Vizina next for the Warriors. 101A, forward dive straight, 1.4 degree of difficulty. Threes across the board from the officials. Next is Kyra Fuchman. 104C, forward 2 somersaults from the tuck position, 2.2 degree of difficulty. Four and a half.
For the Raiders,
Murray Hall next for the Hastings Raiders, 203C, back 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.0 degree of difficulty. Got 5.5.
For the Warriors,
Next is Reese Walsh from Two Rivers. 402C inward 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Four and a half, 4. Next up, Greta Larson from the Hastings Raiders. 5-2-2-3D, back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position, 2.3 degree of difficulty. Second highest degree of difficulty we've seen so far tonight. 4-5-4. Next, Hannah Lawrence from Two Rivers, 301C, reverse dive from the tuck position, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Quick and efficient, 5-6-5. 5-5-6, as you see it on the screen. Next is Chloe Arness of the Hastings Raiders, 303C, reverse 1.5 somersault from the tuck position, 2.1 degree of difficulty. We got 6, and Two Rivers. 6, another devil number. Seems like he's pretty impressed with some of those Hastings dives. He's kind of dropping his mouth a couple times, as this is Ellie Kessler of Two Rivers, 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, 1.6 degree of difficulty. 5, 4.5, 5. And now we move to round 6, our final diving round for the evening. We have one exhibition dive to conclude us, and then it'll be varsity the rest of the way. So Cora Vizina of Two Rivers is our final exhibition diver of the night. 102C, forward 1 somersault tuck, and a 1.4 degree of difficulty. Three, 2.5, 3.5. Cara Fuchman from the Hastings Raiders, 302C, reverse 1 somersault from the tuck position, 1.6 degree of difficulty. As we are now in the final portion of the varsity divers. 5, 5, 5.5. Next is Mari Hall of the Hastings Raiders, 5-2-3-1D, back 1.5 somersault, 1/2 twist from the free position, 2.1 degree of difficulty. Staying in that 2 range for the degree of difficulty. Oof. Getting a little close to that diving board, but 4.5, 4, and 4.5. A little close for comfort on that diving board, but effective dive nonetheless. Next is Reese Walsh. 5-1-2-1D, forward 1 somersault, 1/2 twist from the free position, 1.7 degree of difficulty. A little splashdown, got close to the judges over there. 4, 3.5, and 3. Next is Greta Larson of the Hastings Raiders. 2.1 degree of difficulty, 5-2-3-1D. Back 1 1/2 somersault, 1/2 twist, free position. Again, since I set it backwards, 2.1 degree of difficulty. Five, 4.5, 5. The diving board thing might just be me from my angle. I'm a little off angle here, so it looks a little closer than it actually might be. Next is Hannah Lawrence, 201B, back dive from the pike position, 1.6 degree of difficulty. Clean and efficient back dive, 5.5, 5, 5.5. Final 2 divers now for the RNS for the Hastings Raiders. 5-1-3-2-D, forward 1.5 somersault, 1 twist from the free position, 2.2 degree of difficulty. Another clean dive from RNS, 7, 6.5, 7. Highest scoring dive of the night, 2 7s. Next is Ellie Kessler of Two Rivers, 5-2-2-3-D. Back 1 somersault, 1.5 twist, free position, and a 2.3 degree of difficulty. Four for our final diver of the evening. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. That was our diving portion of the evening. Don't go anywhere yet, though. We still have a whole half of swimming yet to go. We're going to take another quick break. Thanks for joining us, everybody. You're listening and watching to Hastings Raiders swimming and diving versus the Two Rivers Warriors. We will be right back.
How can I help you today?
I don't think I'm in the right place. I have big dreams, like crab brewery-sized dreams.
I like it.
Your bank is very,
Cozy?
yes.
Yeah, I I know what you mean. We prefer more personal interactions. We dedicate the majority of our space to our customers' dreams.
Wow. Look at that.
I know, it never gets old.
Wow. This is way bigger than your office.
There's lesser known businesses and some you've heard of more, but it doesn't bother me cause I just love to explore. Interviewing owners and lending a hand. I love to assist for as long as they can stand.
Welcome back to the Hastings Middle School pool. Diving has concluded, warm-ups have concluded. Score totals sit at 52-26 in favor of the Hastings Raiders, but before we get too far into the rest of the way, I want to give a huge shout out to the scorers table down there as you get a good shot of them. They had many assistants running us lineups and roster orders and checking in on us the whole night. They've really rolled out the red carpet and really tried to make a technical situation a lot smoother. Their computers having issues, but they've been scrambling hard to make our broadcast as smooth as possible. So we want to give a thank to everybody down there. And also we want to give another shout out to our officials for being here tonight. I caught one of them in the hallway, made sure to say thank you. That's my other PSA for the night, just to thank our officials for the evening. So we're getting set for our first JV event of the second half of the meet. I've always kind of divided that up. So first our JV 100-yard butterfly heat. In lane 1 is Lauren Bideau of Hastings. In lane 3, Stella Hilgers. And in lane 5, we have Elion Herrera Carlson. Herrera Carlson in first place down in lane number 5 for the Hastings Raiders in this JV heat. Just a reminder, if you are just tuning in, it'll always be JV heat before varsity, and we have a full slate tonight as the final JV swimmers round us out here in event number 11 on the score sheet. Then we'll move over to the varsity. Again, reminder, since we're coming out of diving, Hastings has 1, 3, and 5, 2 Rivers in 2, 4, 6. Lineup so far, Greta Larson, lane 1, Anna Crane, lane 2, Josie Larson of Hastings, lane 3, Charlotte Bogan, lane 4, Emma Demlow, 5, and Amelia Warnicki in lane 6. Varsity underway for the 100-yard butterfly. Hastings getting off to an early lead, neck and neck between 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really tight up the gut. Looking like lanes 3 and 5 getting off to the advantage for Hastings. Lane 5, Emma Demlow for the Hastings Raiders. Lane 3, not too far behind Josie Larson, or excuse me, lane 4 of Charlotte Vogan. So between 3 through 5. Larson kind of taking the lead, followed by Demlow, followed by Vogan. Larson maintaining that lead. Not too far is Demlow, who's going to get it. And it will be lane number 3, followed by 5, and then 4. Hastings will then claim 4th place. 2 Rivers will now conclude with 5th and 6th. So the winner had a time of 101.58. Second place had a 103.48. And then 3rd place had a 109 flat. Great race by all the competitors as we get set for the JV 100-yard freestyle. This one will be a pretty quick one as well. Run through your JV 100-yard freestyle of Carly Gintner of Hastings, Camille Lamb of Two Rivers, Mary Schulk in lane 3 of Hastings, Kale Jacobson, lane 4 for Two Rivers, Peyton Coombs in lane 5 for the Raiders, and then Elise Schaefer of Two Rivers, the 7th grader, getting some JV action tonight. One of the nice things about these swimming programs is they do call up some middle schoolers to wrestle JV, get that experience, learn behind veterans, getting that good practice. It's a fun thing to see, and in Wisconsin, that wouldn't fly. You can't play with a high school squad until you're in 9th grade. Minnesota, though, you can be around that squad at any time. As you can see on your screen, all the competitors getting on the starting blocks. Still a good crowd on hand. It's not a very big facility here at the middle school pool, but it is nearly full as the race is now underway. Gintner taking an early lead. Hastings having the top 3 spots is lane 5, followed by lane 3 and lane 1. Competitors beginning the second half. Reminder, this pool is a 25-yard pool, so it's 25 down and then another 25 back, so 50 total. Because next we have, after our varsity heat, we have our long 500-yard free, as I believe we have a disqualification, or she can't, or no, she's taking a pause at the sideline and we'll restart. Lane 4. That's Kale Jacobson. And coming in first place for the JV side of things, Mary Schulk will take it, followed by Peyton Coombs, and then third will be Carly Gintner. Fourth place in lane 6, Elise Schaefer, followed by Camille Lamb and Kale Jacobson, building up that energy to finish it. Great job, Kale. Winning time, 1 minute, 10 seconds, 0.35 milliseconds. Second place time, 1 minute, 12 seconds, 0.22. Third place time, 1 minute, 16 seconds, 0.60. Next is the varsity heat. Let's run through your lineups again. Reminder, I know I'm a broken record. Hastings 135. Two Rivers 246. Liliana Burks in lane 1. Maria Nelson lane 2. Kira Arness lane 3. Eden Hill lane 4. Izzy Green lane 5. And Izzy Steiner in lane 6. Pretty tight race up the middle. Good kickoff from Hastings and Two Rivers up the middle. Neck and neck. Arness and Hill keeping it close as they are set to begin the back half. Kicks off the wall, good push. Hastings still has that edge. Arness maintaining positioning. Lane 5, and Izzy Green not far behind in third place. It's an arm's length away. That kickoff is going to be really important. Two Rivers has the lead. Eden Hill, is she going to take it? Two Rivers getting loud. Who's going to get that first place spot? It's going to be close, and it goes to Two Rivers. Eden Hill behind a good 2/3 of that, but got a good kickoff on the final stretch just to get past Kira Arness. 56.22 is the time for first place. That second place time, 56.23, literally a millisecond behind, and you can't get any closer than that. Talk about neck and neck. Man, a neck and neck race. That's how, that is how you draw up a race. Great job by Two Rivers and great job by Hastings. Hastings also cleared that third place spot in lane 5 with Izzy Greeno, time of 58.55. Next, no JV heat for this one. It is the 500-yard freestyle. This one is a long one, folks. This is about endurance and pace. Talk about how much energy you can maintain over the course of the race. Hastings out to an early lead. This is a varsity heat. Once again, Hastings Two Rivers neck and neck in that 2 and 3 lanes in lane 2. Actually, I haven't gone through your lineups yet. In lane 1, Emma Leonard, followed by Sarah Hewitt, of Two Rivers. Sofia Kovalenko, the sophomore of Hastings in lane 3. Chessa Berg, lane 4 for Two Rivers. Lane 5, Emery Malm, and then rounded out by Elliot Menk in lane 6. You can tell that lead has started to grow for Hastings. Quick pace, but not flying pace, just consistently moving. Once again, want to say hi to our Town Square Television viewers. Thanks for joining us here. I know you guys don't always get to see swimming on the main channel, so we're glad to have you here, especially for Hastings Two Rivers. Two Rivers has become one of my favorite schools to cover. For those on Town Square, too, I also do work production crew with Toby Stanga over on the Game of the Week side of things. So I'm very familiar with Two Rivers in a multitude of ways, very familiar with some of these names on the Two Rivers side. Sometimes I admit I do struggle. I sometimes default to Henry Sibley on occasion. But clearly now in the Two Rivers era for the past few years now. Kovalenko has a huge lead. Then it's Two Rivers are the closest next two in lanes 2 and 4. Lane 2, Sarah Hewitt. Lane 4, Chessa Bird. We also just had and I do like talking a little bit about Two Rivers. I know it's not swimming related, but we also just had a very successful broadcast. We went over and made the trip to Two Rivers for Two Rivers versus Hastings football, and everyone over at Two Rivers, Prentice Smith, Bill Larson, the whole works, you all really roll out the red carpet for us. Even though we're a road broadcast, everyone at Two Rivers has shown nothing but kindness for us as a broadcast, and we're happy to give Two Rivers as much coverage as we can. While the rivalry itself has gotten a little bit chippy over the past few years, we still have been welcomed with open arms, and we really appreciate it. And Hastings is still, I mean, we're not even at 10 years in this conference. It was still a somewhat newer move. They moved when I was in high school, I believe we're almost at 10 years now. My junior year of high school, 2014-15, I believe that was when we made the switch. So we're still looking to establish some of these rivalries, and Two Rivers has really become one of those rivalries. Talking with Hastings players, they definitely say, yeah, Two Rivers is a team we want to beat. And contrary, Two Rivers wants to beat us. Hastings still has that lead, lane 4 in second place with a 37-second lap time. Notice, too, behind the diving block, they do have manual timers in case those Daktronic boards that are on the ledge malfunction. So they have backup plans, which is always, you always say it for broadcast, you need backup plans, always be prepared for any outcome, and they show that here at swim meets as well. Kovalenko on her final lap. That's what that cowbell means, is she's on her last lap. They also hold cards at the end of the lane. Once that's flipped to red, that's your final lap. The cards there, too, have numbers displaying what lap you're on and how far you got left to go. Kovalenko looking to finish this off in dominating fashion. Two Rivers looking to claim the second and third places, though, as they maintain their lead. As Kovalenko has completed her run. Next, lane 4. Chessa Berg is leading the way. She's on her final lap. No one even close, as she will take that top 3 finish. And she does. Kovalenko finishes with a time of 5 minutes, 35 seconds, 0.36 milliseconds. And our second place finish will be 6 minutes, 11 seconds, 0.69 milliseconds. Third place also finished in lane 2. Lane 2, Sarah Hua? Excuse me, I apologize. I'm butchering that name a little bit. She finished with a 6 minute 22.51. Lane 1 will finish in 4th place, and now we're just waiting on lanes 5 and 6. Well, great race all around. Hastings, they kind of got that first place spot, but Two Rivers not far behind, securing that 2 and 3 place spots, which are worth points to the score total. Lane 5 finished. 4th place time, 6 minutes, 45 seconds, 0.58 milliseconds. As we round off the 500 freestyle. Hastings will get the first place win. Two Rivers will claim the next 2 places, though. Great job by Kovalenko. Next, we move to another JV heat, the 200-yard freestyle relay. Another quick one. Only two lanes this time. Hastings will be in 3, Two Rivers in 4. Up on the diving block will be Mary Schulk for Hastings, followed by Elise Schaefer of Two Rivers. They will get us started here in the JV heat. We're underway here for the JV heat. Hastings off to an early lead. Schulk got that advantage as the next swimmers get ready. Next up for Hastings, Kara Fechtman, excuse me, I'm butchering some of these names, I apologize. Like I said, didn't get rosters till late, so didn't have some time to go over these pronunciations, so we apologize for that. We're just happy to have you along and are happy to highlight your athlete. Now in the water for Two Rivers, Addie Schluender. Schluender. Excuse me. Next up for Hastings on the block, Carly Gintner. Very neck and neck once again. A good dive and swim through the water could make a difference as Gintner has the early lead, but Isabella Skidmore is not far behind. One good kickoff, and it's a whole different match as Two Rivers got a really good kick right there. About a swimmer and a half behind, and she's kind of running into that lane divider, and that's eating a little bit of time. Now on the block, Fiona Olsen. In the water, V. Menshuber in there for Two Rivers. Hastings now has about a swimmer and a half lead on Two Rivers. Looks like Hastings has this JV heat locked down unless she can turn on the jets there in lane 4. And it will be Hastings, but she did end up closing the gap pretty well on Menshuber. While we take a break in the action, why don't we also take a break to thank one of our supporters? HCTV Sports is supported by Merchants Bank. Merchants Bank is committed to supporting the families and businesses at the heart of our communities. Finances should be about listening, learning, and even a little fun. To start your best banking adventure yet, more information is available at merchantsbank.com. Merchants Bank, let's dream together. As we get set for the varsity heat of the 200-yard freestyle, every lane is full. And we are underway here. In the lanes, top to bottom, Hastings, 135, Two Rivers, 246. Maddie Ritter, Amelia Warnicki, Lila Salzman, Lila Gabori, Mari Hall, lane 5. And rounding this out, Camille Lamb in lane 6. On the block for Hastings, Elena Latch. Going top to bottom, Elliot Mank, Greta Larson, Sadie Albrecht, Chloe Arness, and Nawal Mohammed rounds off the second set of swimmers. Hastings and Two Rivers fighting it to end that 3 and 4 spot. Two Rivers catching up. They're taking a lead. Good start is going to be critical here as we have the next two ready to tee off. Izzy Green in there for the Raiders, followed by Ada Richards. Izzy Green has the early lead. Like I said, that push off the wall is a key factor in getting some separation. So far, just about a swimmer's length ahead. On the block now in lanes 3 and 4, Sofia Kovalenko and Sarah Huot. Kovalenko in the water. Huot in the water. Can she make up this extra ground? Or I should say water. And it looks like Kovalenko will close this out. This gap is a little bit bigger than I'd like to see. So Hastings will claim that first place spot, followed by Two Rivers in second place. Hastings in lane 5, not too far off. In lane 5 now is Emery Malm. So placements for the top 3, lanes 3, 4, and 5. Two Rivers getting second, Hastings first and third, as we round off the rest of the varsity swimmers. Apologize for that fade to black. That was a tech mistake on that one. Apologize, helping troubleshoot. We're also training in some other crew, so also managing some tech issues on that side. So I was helping sort some stuff out on the director's end. Remind your production crew, doing the directing tonight, Ian Andrusak. Thanks for filling in tonight on some crew shuffling. Max Slocum, Will Celine on the cameras. If you see Will in public, call him Will Williamson. That's what he was called in high school. As we now are in the JV 100-yard backstroke. No relay here. They will do the down and back twice. Two Rivers off to a lead in lane number 4. In lane 4, Anna Henricks. Let's run through the full lineup here in this race. No lane number 6. Hastings first, Caden Butler, followed by Nawal Mohammed, Amelia Kraus, Anna Henriksen, and Ade Schulander. Two Rivers sitting at a comfortable lead here in this JV heat. Yeah, commanding lead from Two Rivers here on the JV side of things. One other note I forgot to bring up earlier too, these LED lights in the pool are brand new. Just put in last spring. If you can tell, it's a little bit brighter in the facility here. As we round out the last couple of swimmers, lane 5 comes in second place, so Two Rivers takes the top 3 spots in the JV heat. Hastings will round it out. Here to complete the heat. We'll next move to the varsity side of things. Next up, the 100-yard backstroke for the varsity side of things. Let's run through your lineup here. In lane 1, Hastings, top to bottom alternating schools. This is for Hastings lane 1, Liliana Burks, followed by Maria Nelson, Josie Larson, Eden Hill, Emma Demlow, and Sarah Hewitt. As we get set to go here, no relay, down and back twice for all these individual competitors, and they are off. Good push off from Hastings and Two Rivers in the 2 through 4 lanes. Hastings has an early lead down in that 5 spot. In lane 5, Emery Malm off to a big lead here. Neck and neck in the middle between Larson and Hill. Hastings inching into that second spot in lane number 3. Larson's still behind Demlow, but Hill not far behind. It's neck and neck. Now Two Rivers has the lead in that second place spot. Demlow pretty safe here right now to hold this first place finish. And it looks like Two Rivers were able to cut ahead of Hastings, and they'll get the second place, forcing Larson to a third place finish. Hastings in lane 1 with Birch will finish 4th. Lane 6 with Two Rivers. Hewitt finishes 5th, and Nelson, in lane 2 will finish it off for Two Rivers. Hey, we're on our final stretch here of the night. We have 4 heats left. 2 JV, 2 varsity.
Event 21, girls 100-yard breaststroke, JV.
We'll talk about our next broadcast later. Got a little flash on your screen, but we'll touch on that end of the game. Appreciate everyone in for the broadcast. Hastings leading the team event 101-55. So Hastings has this pretty much locked up. Let's run through your lineup for the JV 100-yard breaststroke. Lane 1, Fiona Olson. Allie Karen, lane 2, Elena Latch, lane 3, Ari Ernst, lane 4, Ellie Cook, lane 5, Isabella Skidmore, lane 6, alternating lanes. As you've heard it as me as a broken record. Say that time and time again. No relay this time. Our final event is a relay. Looks like Latch in lane 3 has the lead. Hastings has a narrow lead, but in lane 2, Karen not too far behind. Two Rivers could easily sneak up and steal this one in the JV heat. Breaststroke. One of the more difficult ones. I was never a fan of that when I did swimming. As lane number 4 is sneaking up, looking to steal it from Hastings. Lane 4, Ari Ernst. And Ari Ernst will just get ahead by a second and a half. So Ari Ernst beats Elena Latch just by a second and a half. Lane 2 will get 3rd place. Lane 5 gets 4th, and lane 6 5th. And our last competitor in lane 1 will round us out for the last JV individual event of the evening. Now we move to the varsity side for the breaststroke.
Event 23, girls 100-yard breaststroke, varsity.
Let's run through your lineup here. Hastings first, alternating after. Mari Hall, lane 1. Lila Gabori, lane 2. Maddie Ritter, lane 3. Willa Vogan, lane 4. Lila Salzman, lane 5. And Ada Richards, lane 6. As they continue their stretches. Getting loose here. 2 for the Town Square viewers. I'll mention your next Game of the Week broadcast. If you want to catch some good football, Simley football will be taking on Fridley tomorrow from Simley High School. Obviously another Metro East rival, so it might be fun to tune into that. But Two Rivers football team looking pretty good this year. Drew Altavilla looking really great at quarterback, and it's a lot of offensive weapons. A couple of bad picks against Hastings, but he can really sling that football. Another exciting note, too, for Game of the Week viewers or Town Square Television viewers. The game on the 27th Toby was planning, Simley South St. Paul, has been moved to TCO Stadium, and HCTV will be producing those games. So you can catch that locally on Town Square Television or NSPN online. Or if you're a Hastings fan even and want to watch some Metro East football, we'll have it on 14/799. As the JV heat for the 400-yard freestyle relay is underway, let's run through your race lineup. In lane 2. And excuse me, my lineup is not correct. Oh, excuse me, I jumped ahead a little bit. There's no one racing in lane 2, so it's throwing off my lineup a little bit here. Apologize, I must have missed something somewhere where they added a JV heat somewhere, so this should be apologize, I got a little ahead of myself there. There's a 100-yard breaststroke, so claiming first, Mari Hall, Lila Gabori, Maddie Ritter, Wiley Vogan, Lila Salzman, and Etta Richards. All right, I got a little too far ahead talking about other things that weren't swimming. Apologize about that, viewers. Jumped the gun a little bit. Next up is the girls' 400-yard freestyle relay. So Hastings got first in lane 3, took second in lane 5, and Two Rivers in third in lane 4.
Even 23 girls 400-yard freestyle relay.
There's a great shot of Hastings head coach Katie McAlpin rolling out the red carpet for us. Although I will say, the one thing I can kind of criticize, she never knows when we're coming. This time was my fault, but I swear last year, there's a couple times I emailed and she said, I didn't know you were coming. I'm like, all right, that's fine. It's really not a big deal, but it's kind of nice too to surprise them and come with the stream. So happy to be here and get some different coverage as we move to the 400-yard freestyle relay. 3 lanes in action here. Let's go through the starting swimmers. Lane 2 for Two Rivers, Guizzali Cordozo. In Hastings, lane 3, Peyton Coombs, followed by Two Rivers, Elise Schaefer. Since this is a 400-yard relay, every swimmer will go down and back twice. I mentioned it earlier, 25-yard pool. As Two Rivers takes the lead in lane 2. Guizzali Cardozo, the 9th grader of Two Rivers. Second place following right behind her is Peyton Coombs as the next set of swimmers getting on the block. Kale Jacobson, lane 2, Mary Schulk, lane 3, and Camille Lamb, lane 4. And lane 2 is off, lane 3 is off, and lane 4 coming shortly behind in this JV heat. Narrow race here between lanes 2 and 3. Hastings now starting to squeak out in front is Mary Schulk. Jacobson trying to keep up. About an arm's length difference so far in this JV race. In lane 4 is Camille Lamb. Next set on the board, lane 2, Addie Schlulander, Amelia Kraus, and then Nawal Mohammed. Rounding us out in lane 4. Still a very narrow race between 2 and 3. Anyone could get it at this point, as they're set to make the kick on their first lap down. Two Rivers kind of extended that lead. Now they have a pretty commanding one. Hastings is going to have to make up some ground, a.k.a. water. There's some turn of phrases translated better across sports. That's one that really does not work. As Addie kicks off the wall, Hastings behind, and Amelia Kraus. Mohammed kind of catching up too on Hastings. She's not careful, she's going to get lapped. Or passed, not lapped, I should say. Now ready off the boards. Lanes 2 to 4. Isabella Skidmore followed by Kaden Butler. And then Sophia Carney in lane 4. Two Rivers with a commanding lead in this JV heat. Butler trying to catch up. Lane 4, Carney sneaking up on Hastings. Good push off, and now Two Rivers has the lead with Sophia Carney, and Two Rivers is loving it. Butler lost her swim cap somewhere along the way, unfortunately. We're going to have to get that before the next race. Skidmore can take her time, as actually she might get passed by her teammate Sophia Carney if she's not careful. While swimming is a team sport, it is also individual. While your status as a team in individual races matter, your points matter, you're still kind of competing against your teammates in individual races. As, lane 2 does collect the victory, but lane number 4 really snuck up there. Carney really made up a lot of ground on Skidmore, as one of the bench players did dive in to get the swim cap that fell off in the water. It was brought to the sideline. It's kind of blocked back there, but one of those bench players picked it up. Thank you for doing that. And that'll conclude our final JV heat of the night. One of the nice things about swimming is we are able to broadcast these JV heats because they are so well integrated into the varsity meet. Next up is the varsity 400 freestyle relay, and this is going to conclude our night. Let's go through your starter lineup here on the block. Hastings in lane 1, all the way down alternating. We got Emery Malm, the 8th grader, followed by Maria Nelson, the senior, Izzy Green, the senior, Charlotte Vogan, the senior for Two Rivers, Emma Demlow, the 9th grader, and rounded out by Sadie Albrecht, the junior. And we're off. It is a relay, so see what can happen here. Neck and neck up the gut. Anyone's race at this point. Push off the wall are going to be key. Good turn as lane 4 gets the early lead. Just by an arm's length, not far behind, is Vogan. Another critical turn. Neck and neck. Lanes 3 through 5 are within an arm's length of each other. Oh, it's getting closer and closer with every turn, and lane 4 is Vogan, Demlow, and 5. Let's get the starters coming off the block for the second lap. Emma Leonard for lane 1, Izzy Steiner. Lane 2, Lauren Bodette. Lane 3, Sarah Hewitt. Lane 4, Eliana Herrera Carlson. Lane 5, and Anna Henriksen. Lane 6. Every swimmer has rotated. Lane 4 has taken the lead. Hastings will have to make up some ground in lane 3 and 5. As we approach our second turn. Hewitt has a lead, but that gap is narrowing. Herrera Carlson not far behind. Let's see who gets the better kick. Right now, Two Rivers still that arms lead. As the next set of swimmers are ready to come in, let's run through the next set. Elena Latch followed by Chessa Berg. Liliana Burks followed by Anna Crane. Josie Larson and rounded out by Allie Karen. So that was your third lap swimmers, top to bottom. As we're rounding out the next set of swimmers. Two Rivers still has that lead in lane 4, swimming for them now, Anna Crane. Josie Larson not that far behind. Man, that's close, neck and neck. Lane 2 has stolen that third place spot from Hastings. In lane 2, Chessa Berg. Two Rivers doing a great job kind of stealing things here in the later varsity heats. It's going to come down to the last swimmer. Let's run through your last swimmers. Top to bottom, Hastings alternating with Two Rivers. Stella Hilgers, Willa Vogan, Kira Arness, Eden Hill, Sophia Kovalenko, and Ada Richards. And Sophia Kovalenko is that one you want in lane 5. She's been electric all night. She's getting a lot of pace on her. Narrowing it a little bit more. This kickoff is gonna be key. As we approach kickoff number 2. Two Rivers still has that lead by a hair. Still maintaining that third place spot. The fourth place not far behind her in lane 3. Arm's length lead for lane 4 in Eden Hill. Kovalenko, can she get the extra effort? Oh, it is neck and neck. Who's got it? Who's got it? And it's gonna be Hill for Two Rivers. Hastings in second, again by a millisecond. 29.37 and 29. Oh, on that lap time, so close. So close. Lap time was quicker for Kovalenko, but the overall time, they win it by a second in lane 1, 3:59.52, 4 minutes on the dot, 27. For lane 2, third place was lane 4 with a time of 4 minutes, 17 seconds, .49. Two Rivers really showed up in some of these later events, and they have some talented swimmers on this roster. Definitely should feel good on how they kind of swooped up those middle positions over the course of this event. And the final swimmer is in. So that's going to conclude our racing schedule of the night. But while we await final scores, why don't we give a little bit of a hint of what's coming next on HCTV Sports? Next up on HCTV Sports on the 17th, we have volleyball versus New Richmond. Border battle time. That's always fun. Then followed by homecoming football versus Bloomington Jefferson. We will also be streaming Coronation for those that are interested on YouTube earlier in the day. Then we also have more volleyball. Hastings Prescott. We did that matchup last year. Prescott had their number. Hastings is looking a lot better this year. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tune in for that one. And then we wrap it off on October 3rd. We'll be back here for more swimming and diving versus Simley. Another great Metro East Conference rival. And we're getting our final numbers here.
77 and Hastings with 101.
So our final score today, Hastings wins 101-77 tonight over the Two Rivers Warriors. Like I said, Hastings Two Rivers is becoming a very heated rivalry. While tonight was very friendly, you can tell these these two teams want to beat each other at any opportunity, and that was evident tonight, especially in some of, like that last race. It was neck and neck between Kovalenko and the Two Rivers swimmer. But so we're going to send it out here, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Once again, let's give a shout out to our production crew. I'm Hunter Pinky, your sports producer and your announcer today. Ian Andersack doing the directing and on graphics today. Camera work provided by Mike. Why'd I say Mike? Max Slocum and Will Saline. Thanks for joining us, everybody. The Hastings Raiders defeat the Two Rivers Warriors 101-77. This has been HCTV Sports.